guys, welcome back. It is your favorite Gimp with a Limp, and I am back with some more Fighters of the Pacific. I'll give you a hint. Don't leave your door open if you've got little kids in the house, because sometimes they'll come up to your board and think it's cool little toys to play with. I was able to get all my planes, I think, back to where they were by comparing to the previous video. So we should be good to go. But let's jump right back into where we left off. We're actually on top of each other now. Bombers streaming in, fighters coming in. I did annotate in the previous video that I had made a couple of small goofs. There was a dodge over here that I had missed as far as the zeros. We're just going to leave it. I don't tend to go back and correct the mistakes because I would be doing it all the time. So we just carry on unless it's a huge game-changing deal. But losing a single plane is not that big of a deal. And then over here with the bombers, I was making a mistake on that. They can't do level bombing at high altitude. They can only do it at low altitude. And it's right there in the rules. I flat out missed it. So they are going to have to dive down to get to the destroyer, is what it is. It's not a huge deal since they're right there on top of each other. And I think that was it. So we are good to get back in here. Now we got to figure out who's got the initiative because stuff is changing up. Now planes are starting to get all over the place, different altitudes. So we got to figure out what our points are. Now, pull this out of the way. We have, was it +1 for each group at high, +2 for each group at low, and +1 for any damaged aircraft. So nothing's damaged yet. So it's 1s or 2s, 1 for high, 2 for low. And let's see what we got here. Okay, so they've got 2, 3, 4, 5. That should be it. Yeah, because those two are connected. These two are connected, so that's a group. He's off on his own. That's 3 points, and then another 2 points. I think that is all of our Japanese. So if we got 5 points there, let's see, 1, 2, 4, 6. Crap! No! Oh, I wanted to have the lower number. I'm killing myself. I can not get to where the Japanese are going first. I'm killing myself. Okay, so that means if I got 6 points and they got 5, player with the least handicap wins the initiative. So they have initiative again, which means I have to move all my aircraft first. This is getting old. All right, I'm looking at it. I can either climb up with this guy or I can flick him around over there. But I mean, the wall of planes, right? So like those Kates over there coming in all lined up together could potentially get a fighter. I mean, they got guns. They can put some hurt out. And there's AA surrounding this destroyer that's moving up. So I don't want to have him there. Oh, and I was thinking about it that there would be a good rule, like ad hoc rule for this scenario where you've got the carriers in here, that if a plane gets destroyed, like on top of them, that they could attempt to crash down on the carrier, you know, like the kamikazes would do, but it's not in the rules. So I don't know if we'll have something like that, but I got to get this guy up. He's in a bad place right now. And I think I would rather get him up higher so he could potentially go after either the Kates over there or the Vals over there. So let's bring him there. That's 2 points. And I can either turn or go straight, or I could turn on this way. So I could go after those guys later. What do I want to do? I think I'm going to go after the Kates. So we'll cut forward one more. We'll spend him because I'll have to chase the Vals, right? And that's going to be a problem. It'll take me a couple of turns to get around, so screw that. What do we want to do here? All right, so if we come in and go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like that. Now I've got fighters coming in over to the right. They might be able to link up with him and we can target those. I gotta stop hitting my camera. We can hit those Kates potentially, but I am out of the altitude for that AA, so I don't have to worry about him at least. All right, so that takes care of them. Now this is a problem because there's zeros coming straight in on my Dauntlesses, and I do not want them to get my Dauntlesses. I don't think I can get them in the line of fire because I could force them off if I could get them in a spot, but a Dauntless can only shoot straight ahead or in its 6 and only got 2 movement points. So if I go 1, 2, I'm only facing right there. They're in clouds anyway, so I can't shoot them like that. Maybe I go forward because it'll take them a little bit to try to get around on my 6 anyway. They're not going to be able to turn immediately. So yeah, we're just going to keep trucking along. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, we go forward like that. We should be good. And we'll just leave them as such. Sticking them together, hoping that the overlapping fields of rear fire might be able to cover them. Now these guys, what are we doing there? Now, I don't think the zeros can get to them yet, so I'm going to get the altitude up. That way, on the next turn, I will be able to dodge if I need to. So, always a good idea to climb if you can. All right, that should be all of my plane groups. Dauntless is gone. He's gone. Those fighters are gone. Those fighters have gone. Everyone's at high altitude, and that does reduce my initiative down, right? Because I've got less groups at low altitude, and that was hurting me. So we should be good. I'll have to move and launch with those guys later, which means we are over to phase 2 for the Japanese, and they get to activate. All right, let's start with the easy stuff. We'll have them climb. And remember, for the torpedoes, it does make a difference because there's a Japanese side and a American side for torpedoes, but for bombs, does not matter. They are pretty much the same for American and Japanese. Okay, so that group has activated. Mark them. And the number that can matter, but for us, we're not worried about it. We're just marking them as activated. So they've activated. And the only other thing that they're going to have is this group, and this group. Okay, let's look at our upper bomber here. I think I'm just going to turn with him because he's probably going to swing on towards the carrier because these two now are going to go after the destroyer and they're probably going to get him. Because I think in the order of fire, the way the game works, the AA does not get to get them because the AA would have to survive first and then get to fire. So if we turn 1 and 2, we'll swing him around that way. So he is activated. Now, here's the big deal. We're going to come in with these two. We're going to activate them. And they're going to dive down here, and scoot forward, which will end them there, but they're going to go level, right? Straight across like this and drop their bombs. It doesn't matter really regardless which way they go, but they're going to get their bombs off, which are both going to hit the destroyer, right? So they're going to drop a bomb there, drop a bomb there. And boom, fly across. And because they're diving down, they're not losing the movement point, so they get to actually move 3. 1, 2, 3. So he will finish off there. He is out of bomb, and he will drop his little bomb. Boom, and flick him over. And 1, 2, 3. He'll finish off there. 2 bombs. He's hit. He's destroyed. If there was a part of the ship left, then it would get to fire, right? Reaction shot. But there is no part of the ship left. They have destroyed the destroyer. So I'm going to throw that on their side to remember the fact that they have taken it out. Good on the Japanese. Now they can swing around over towards the carrier, but they are out of bombs. They've only got one guy left. But there's no reason I can't use these as fighters, right? They got front guns. They got rear guns. They can try to interdict my guys, or at least get in the way, right? My bombers coming in. So that's probably what I'm going to do with them. There's no point in sending them back in this scenario. I would play it such, right, that if your fighters here, your bombers, were able to make it back to your carrier, they could rearm, right? So they could get bombs and launch again. But the amount of time, that's like multiple turns, considering the fact they only go 2 hexes a turn, right? Getting all the way back over there. It would take them, 12 turns to get from here all the way back to the carrier, reloaded, and then one at a time coming up and then back over. Yeah, might as well just keep them out and try to gun something down. So they still have 1 bomber here and those 3 Kates coming over that way with torpedoes to go after my carrier. All right, the only thing we have left to go with is our zeros over here. And they're definitely going to try to go after some of these bombers. I don't think they're going to be able to get to any of them. Let's see. 1, 2. 1, 2, turn. He's facing that. Oh, he actually can get them in the field of fire. I didn't think that. I miscounted it. I was thinking they were going to be 1 too far back. Oh, I should have kept these guys at low altitude. This is going to hurt. Oh, and I still think they could have got them at low altitude. Damn. Yeah, okay. So 1, 2, turn. Now what's saving them right now is the fact that he didn't get them in the frontal arc. Right? That would be a problem. Because if he got them in that front arc, he could kill one of those in 1 shot. But since they've already moved, they've already activated, there's nothing. They can't dodge. So I can shoot either one that I want to. I guess it really doesn't matter. We'll put it on the front one. Because his fields of fire, right, are these 4 hexes. Same as a Wildcat, with the exception that they get the double. Right, so that's their target. So effectively, he's getting to pick whatever plane's there, but because he's already activated, he doesn't get to dodge. This does not work. That means he's down 1. Everything has 2 with the exception of the 0. Zero's only got 1. 1 hit will take out a 0. But 1 hit could take out Val too, because it's flammable, and so are the Kates. And so what that means is if they are shot in the front hex, right, by the front hex of any enemy aircraft, it counts as double. So similar to the zeros, how they get double in their very front hex, which would have taken out this torpedo bomber in 1 hit. Same thing when we're targeting those Vals and those Kates. They're flammable, so if they're in that very front hex, then they get blown away. Last one. Crap. Let's see if I go 1, 2. Can he? No. To turn, he would go like this. So I can't finish him like that. He's going to be a separate group. I can't get him here and facing this way. The only way he could do it, he would go 1, 2, turn. But this guy went 1, 2, turn. And with this plane here, he's not able to do that. Damn. Let's see. Now, these Dauntless Dive Bombers do not get to fire. Okay. Even though these zeros are in their line of fire, like this one has a field of fire back here, it would only be a reaction. So there would have to be some targeting going on for them to be able to fire. Plus, they've already activated. So they're not going to be able to do that. Damn, I don't think I can keep them as a single group. That's going to be 2. They're going to be facing this way. There's nowhere else I can put him. Well, if he's going to be a single group, should I put him anywhere else? Maybe do some damage somewhere else? No, we'll keep him over there. just in case. But I do believe that will finish up the Japanese activations, and that should be all of our aircraft. So we'll do our carriers real quick. All right. All I am doing over here is bringing up another fighter. That way I can launch those two together. And I'm going to leave the carrier where it is for now. I'm thinking I might try to turn it later on to kind of skirt away from some stuff, but I'm going to leave it there. All right, so let's roll off for the Japanese, see what they're going to bring on. Okay, and I'm grabbing up some more vowels. So shot that one there. Where's a good spot? Well, actually farther back to get them in the right spot. And I think we're going to leave their carrier about midway here too, because it's getting close to the top of the board. So they're bringing that one up, and they do have 2 more vowels left they can bring up. So get a full load on there and bring them over. And that will give them 1 bomber left with bombs, 3 torpedo bombers, and then if they launch these, another 3 dive bombers out. So they'll be in a good position. All right, so let's run one more quick round and see what all we can get going on. For the Japanese, I might actually get a chance to go first, or get them to go first, and maybe actually do something. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They've got 6 points. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 points. Finally. Wait. I get an extra point because of this guy being damaged. Is it 1 point or 2 points? 1 point. So I've got 5 points. So it actually is switching. Finally switching over to where they've got to go first now. Damn, it took so many turns. All right, so the Japanese are going to activate first on this round. They'll activate all of their stuff, and then I will be activating my stuff. All right, so what are we going to do with their Kates? Where do we want to go with these guys? They got to get out of Dodge. Okay, we're going to try something. We're going to see if this works here. Basically, we are diving to try to get out of the fields of fire of these fighters coming in. So 1, or that's not even 1, that's 0, 1, and 2. And same for these guys. They're coming in to try to get away. So 0, 1, and 2. And here we go. 0, 1, and 2. All right, keeping them all grouped up. They've got the fields of fire in the front and the rear covered. But this way, they kind of like dive down and trying to get away from these fighters that are right here above them. All right, over here. Let's see. Should we just climb? Yeah, we'll just climb to get these guys up. And this guy's going to go 1, 2. And I could get an extra hex if I dive. So yeah, we're going to do that because he's going to have to be at low altitude anyway. Coming screaming in. 1, 2. Yeah, a couple more turns he can get near that carrier. And that will take care of them. We'll just throw that there, signify they're all activated. And now we've just got their 2 fighters that are over here that will activate separately because they are at different altitudes. Okay. I got myself an idea. This might work. Okay. Dudes are both doing split S's, spending all their movement points. He's going to end up here at low altitude, and he is going to end up here at low altitude. So they're both right under it. Now they're heading in the same direction. They're going to get activate together, and they're directly underneath my dive bombers. So as the dive bombers come flying over, these zeros are going to be able to come right up on their 6. Oh man, that is awesome. I love that. That works out very, very well. Now that should be it for them. For their activations, I do believe I've got all of their aircraft. That group, this group, this group. They haven't launched anything else yet. So now it's just my stuff. Okay, now this is going to be kind of an issue because I want to keep these bombers from getting blown up, but I think I can get them all into this cloud cover, which will at least slow down them, because I can go 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2. There we go. Activated together. Perfect. They're activated. They're all in the clouds. They can't be attacked. Yes, there's zeros underneath them, but for at least another round, it gives me some time to get something going on. And these guys are just going to go 1, 2, 1, 2 for now, trying to keep them together so they're kind of covering each other. Can I figure out a way to get after these Kates? Or maybe I send this one after the Kates to kind of divide them up, and these two keep going towards the carrier so they can go after those valves when they take off. All right, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. They're going ahead. And this guy is 1, 2, 3. And I might have him split S on the next turn to drop down and come after these guys. That could work. All right, let's go ahead and do our phase 3 stuff. We got our bombers coming up. They're not launching yet, and that will take care of that. What are we doing with this guy? I haven't done anything with that destroyer here in a minute. Let's go ahead and move him forward. Get him somewhere. All right, he's going there. I'd kind of forgotten about this Japanese destroyer. All right, now let's pop around and get the American carrier. All right, as far as what we're bringing up, and I can only launch 2, so what do I have left? I've got some dive bombers, so we're going to bring up a dive bomber, but we are going to launch this set of fighters. 1, 2, 3, and same thing for him. Put him there. So now they're launched, and we're bringing ourselves up a Dauntless. All right, now I got a couple of fighters who can come over here and maybe try to cover these guys, get these zeros off so they can go on and launch ourselves some more bombers. All right, so in the first wave of attacks so far, the Japanese have prevailed. They have gotten my destroyer. I'm near their destroyer, but I don't have any bombers near it. They were able to get mine first because they were able to start with 3 bombers up in the air. That was a huge advantage for them that I'm now trying to swing back into my favor. But I do have 2 attack groups heading in on them. They've got 1 attack group that's left. It's got a little punch left in it, heading towards the carrier. My worry is if they can succeed with that and get one of these guys over, it's going to put me in a very, very bad spot. But I might be able to even things out by doing the same thing. Bring these dive bombers in, take out their destroyer, and then do the same thing head on with what's left towards their carrier. And if we can put some ordnance on that thing, really slow them down. All right, but we're going to go ahead and pause it here. We're at a good stopping point. It's actually getting a little thick now because all the planes are up in the air. Man, a lot have been launched, actually. This actually shows you how many rounds that we've had, considering the fact that only 3 aircraft started up in the air. So all of the American ones had to be launched, brought up. Yeah, I definitely like the scenario that has the carriers and bringing your aircraft up, and you have a limited amount that you got to choose which ones that you're going to launch. I think this would play heads up very nicely. Or even because you can have 2 sets of forces. Remember, you can have 2 carriers. Play it 4-way, right? each person controlling a carrier and their set of aircraft and deciding which ones they're going to launch. Maybe one guy's focusing on fighters and trying to provide cover, combat air patrol type thing, while the other guy's trying to launch as many attack aircraft as he can. Something like that. I think it would play pretty well. All right, but that's going to be it for this one. You guys stay tuned, and we'll see who's going to take the advantage, the Japanese or the Americans. Y'all take care. I'll catch you in the next one.